Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, but 2026 is apparently going to be the year for Trackmania, because just half an hour ago, some absolutely huge news have dropped, because Trackmania will join the Esports World Cup in 2026. And the Esports World Cup, in case you guys don't know, also known as EWC, is a very, very huge tournament hosted in Saudi Arabia, featuring a shit ton of games. And this year, apparently, Trackmania is going to be part of that as well. And there's a lot of news that came out, a lot of things that pro players, I can tell you, knew about this for a while now already. But there's a lot of things that I don't specifically know. So we're gonna check out absolutely everything there is to talk about. We're gonna talk about what you guys think about it and all of that kind of stuff. So let's just check out what kind of news have dropped. So, we have an official Trackmania news article. Trackmania joins the Esports World Cup 2026. We do have an announcement trailer. That's maybe worth to watch first of all. Let me just boot it up. So, we're going in. Let me pause the music real quick. And we're going in. I hope this is not copyrighted. Okay. Wait, is this already a leak of the maps that we're gonna see at the tournament? Very interesting, okay. Kinda wicked trailer, to be honest. The map looks PF. Okay, no, it's just like a scenery map, kind of. And we also saw the trophy already. Did you see that? Holy shit, look at this trophy. Jesus Christ. If you compare this with the Trackmania World Cup trophy from 2 years ago, which was a 20 euro trophy from Amazon, yeah, that's crazy. Trackmania. Riyadh. Wait. Do we see a date? Stop. Did we see a date there, or only the month? August 2026. Okay, August 2026 is gonna be the month of all months, apparently. But okay, let's see what Trackmania has to say, ladies and gentlemen. We're going in. And first of all, before we talk about anything, you guys know, I mean, I don't need to inform you about the current stage of Trackmania eSport, but yeah, especially ever since 2023, Trackmania eSport has been quite in the muds. We always know or knew that there is huge potential in the game, and that the game in theory has has everything that it takes to become a tier 1 esport title. But for some reason there never was anyone in like basically going into Trackmania. There was no one ever taking a risk to host something big. The biggest tournaments we have seen was Ascension back in the days. We had Red Bull last year, but especially the official Trackmania tournaments were all very, very small and not very well received the last 2 years. But yeah, now apparently we have a big player entering. So, yeah, just not to inform about that, Trackmania eSport was basically in the mud, but now it might get saved. So let's see what's being said. Trackmania is making its official debut as the Esports World Cup in 2026, adding high-speed racing excitement to the global competitive lineup. Okay, that's crazy. With the Esports World Cup Foundation and Ubisoft, we are extremely happy and proud to announce today a multi-year partnership. Aha, okay, so it's not only gonna be this year, it's gonna be multiple years ahead, apparently. That will bring Trackmania to the Esports World Cup, set to return to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this summer. Being selected for the EWC, the world's largest esports initiative, marks a major milestone for Trackmania, said Florent Castelnerac, aka Hylas, Ubisoft Nadeo Managing Director. Maybe small info for those of you that have no clue about the Esports World Cup. The way the Esports World Cup works is that there is like, I don't know, 20 different games that are being featured there. And similar to how it is, let's say at the Olympics, esport orgs and teams are basically collecting points through all of the various competitions in the circuit. And then whoever gets the most points across all the titles wins, basically wins the Esports World Cup, you could say. And of course, each game itself and each tournament has an individual prize pool. I already spoiled it. Trackmania will have 500,000 euro prize pool. But maybe as a small comparison, I think the global prize pool for, you know, the winner of the entire Esports World Cup across all titles, I think the winning team won, what was it? I think the overall prize pool was like $70 million. Also, it's like completely different scale for Trackmania. But that's basically how EWC is going to work. And Trackmania is now going to be one small part of it, basically. But yeah, for Hylas, apparently, it's giga-goated. Not surprising. The game was conceived as the purest expression of solo competition. That may be a spoiler already. There's going to be solo and not duo. Where players compete against the moment itself rather than direct opponents. Ah, yeah. more or less, I guess. Bringing the game in that spirit to the EWC stage honors its strong legacy and opens new roads to success for players from around the world. I mean, it's also something now, since Trackmania eSport has been deep in the mud. As an eSport player myself, I can probably also speak for every single other player, that this is like a potentially life-changing opportunity. So it is a completely different level of tournament now all of a sudden, if you compare it with, like, for example, now, last year we played one entire Trackmania World Tour season for multiple months of grinding, and the prize pool was $5,000 as a comparison. So yeah. We are at a completely different stage now, apparently. Trackmania has always been one of gaming's purest level playing fields. Same car, same track, no RNG. It is all... My name is Red Bull Faster! Anyway, it's all about precision, memory, and nerve. Said Fabian Scheuermann, Chief Games Officer, Esportsworldcup Foundation. Is that a German? Fabian Scheuermann? That must be a German. I think also, I think actually ESL is working for the EWC, isn't it? I'm not sure about that. I'm not fully in the business there either. Probably a German, actually. Giving it a truly global esports stage with a world-class production and a significant prize pool is a watershed for a community that spent more than 2 decades shaving thousands of community-built tracks. Together with Ubisoft Nadeo, we will connect players from grassroots to pros to a world final and turn the invisible drama of... I'm not gonna lie, this sounds kinda ChatGPT-like. And turn the invisible drama of splits and ghost replays into an experience anyone can feel. As anyone at home can load the same map and measure the gap for themselves. This is Trackmania stepping into the pinnacle of esports, validating its culture, attracting pro teams, and inviting a new generation to fall in love with competitive racing at its most honest. That was a very long sentence to read, to be honest. This was all one sentence, actually. Ah, never mind. But yeah, also, a lot of things to say about this here. Also, first of all, that is probably the first time Trackmania will actually be a tier 1 esport title type of thing. The first time that Trackmania will be featured at something big, and that the prize money a Trackmania tournament has is actually, like, very, very big. Because I mean, what were the previously biggest tournaments? We had, of course, Ascension with like 128k in total or something. And yeah, then we had Red Bull Faster with 50,000, and that's basically it. All of the other tournaments were smaller, and especially for nowadays esport, considering how far esport went in other games. The prize money in Trackmania, I think we can all agree to that, is, yeah, was very, very laughable for way too long. And yeah, players basically had to grind for, I don't want to say nothing, but yeah, let's just say the reason to play Trackmania eSport was not money, because there was just no money involved at all. And I mean, if you want to do something like this full-time, which then of course also pushes player to new limits and gives players new possibilities to grind more and more and to increase the level, you also just need a certain amount of money for players to be able to do that. And especially in the last 2 years, there were basically no full-time Trackmania players. There was Massa and me, because we were lucky to be at Big, but that's also something we can maybe talk about later. And there was Carl, pretty much. And for the rest, they just grinded for free, and you guys all know how hard grinding for Trackmania tournaments can be. So yeah, more money in the scene is definitely... Also, if there is a game that needed more money in the scene, I would say it's Trackmania. It's actually crazy. Also, Trackmania was lacking this for a very, very long time. So anyway, next up. Trackmania at EWC will feature 32 players. Aha, that's already pretty crazy. I mean, you guys all knew the drama from the World Cup last year, where it was only 8 players. Now we will have 32 players competing in a fast-paced championship format, which is interesting, for a $500,000 prize pool. In the group stage, players will race in 4 player lobbies using a double elimination format. Does that mean it's just cup mode or what? I'm confused. Players will race in 4 player lobbies using a double elimination format. That sounds straight up like cup mode. That's amazing. But no, it sounds like it's gonna be solo, guys. No duos or anything. It sounds like it is going to be solo. No 2v2 anymore, at least in this. The top 8 players from each group will advance to the playoffs, with 16 competitors progressing to single elimination matches to determine the Trackmania Champion in Riyadh. Ach du heilige Scheiße. Single elimination matches. I mean, okay, it's like the same as in World Cup, for example. You know, in World Cup we had also single elimination solo matches. Okay, interesting, I guess. Not sure if I like that. Depends on how the format exactly looks like and stuff. But that is very interesting. So apparently it's going to be cup mode. Trackmania's qualification pathway to the EWC will include an open in-game qualifier offering a direct route to Riyadh. 8 players will qualify through Trackmania's in-game system. With full details to be revealed alongside the game update on January 26. Huh? Wait, am I stupid? Wasn't the game up... What do you mean January 26? They said the update is coming out on the 27th. What now? Now I'm confused. It was supposed to be 27th of January, or am I stupid? 8 players will qualify through... Yeah, also, for some reason this sounds like it will be decided by in-game trophies. That would be like the most dumb thing ever. But I guess it just means that there will be like an in-game Trackmania tournament using the competition tool or something. Oh yeah, so basically... It might just be like one of these regional tournaments that we had in 2024. Just that a shit ton of money is on the line. That's crazy. And yeah, I will check that out in a second, Johnsy. Further details on scheduling, EWC qualification pathways, and broadcast information will be announced in the coming months. Okay, so we don't know about the exact format yet, apparently. We just know that it happens. That is going to be in August, I guess. And, yeah, and now let me quickly check out what Johnsy sent me here. Wait, what is this? Softy back in the chat. Ain't no way. This guy's Softy. Do you guys remember Softy from Trackmania World Tour in 2023? Go practice some speed and Eurosky. You will need it. Also, that's only something the OGs remember. But those were 2 maps that were built by Softy. And they were controversial back in the days. So apparently, also, I mean, Softy writing something. Maybe Softy is gonna be back. I mean, I know that Softy is working for the EWC. And it seems like he's gonna take over Trackmania again. By the looks of it. We also have a status tweet by Softy watching. Finally able to talk about this. Seeing the game that made me reach the world's biggest stage is a dream come true. I'm also thrilled to announce that I will be working on this as I simply couldn't miss the chance. Excited to reconnect with everyone. See you in Riyadh. Aha, okay, so Softy is officially back. Interesting. Interesting. We also had a tweet here. Let's see what they say here. 20 years after the first Trackmania World Cup in Paris, we are proud to welcome a new major milestone in Trackmania esports history, the Esportsworldcup. Each season, every event, every organizer, and every champion writes a new chapter in Trackmania's history, strengthening its legacy as a pillar of esports racing. 2026 is a unique opportunity to showcase the beauty of the game, its deep connection to the values of sport, and the incredible creativity of its community. Let's welcome new friendly players and most skilled competitors of the world. Holy shit. Okay, kinda crazy, guys. Kinda crazy. We also had an official article by Esportsworldcup. Let's see what they say. Or is it just the same? No, this is new here. In Trackmania, drivers race solo or as teams against the clock and other competitors on wildly inventive courses filled with jumps, loops, and hairpin turns, where split-second decisions and flawless runs define success. The game's free-to-play model and the millions of hours watched on streaming platforms underscore its growing appeal in the racing genre. Yeah, I mean, I think, Trackmania nowadays is probably the most successful racing esport, isn't it? Like, I mean, what other racing esports are there? I mean, you have sim racing, of course, but honestly, there is barely anyone watching sim racing these days, I feel like at least. Yeah, honestly, it was only a matter of time that Trackmania gets into something like this, because racing games are, of course, there. But iRacing, yeah, I mean, I don't know if iRacing is, like, much more watched than something like Trackmania. I mean, it's also something completely different, to be honest. Like, both is racing, but you cannot really compare, like, real-life racing or, like, iRacing with something like Trackmania. So they can also easily coexist. It's not like it has to be the one or the other. But Trackmania definitely serves a spot in the higher rankings. It's definitely the most successful arcade racing game, I would say, as in esport. So that is definitely nice to see. And as I said earlier, for Trackmania players that have been grinding for, yeah, basically nothing but honor and pride, this might be a crazy chance to go full-time. Because now it's maybe something different that is very interesting to talk about. When we open up Liquipedia, the Esports World Cup, this is what I meant. Like, there is, of course, like, different games being featured at the Esports World Cup. And each game has its individual prize pool, just as there's Trackmania with 500k now. But next to that, there is also the Club Championship. And I think that is where it gets interesting, because the Club Championship has a prize pool of overall $30 million. And the way this is working is that, as I said earlier, eSport teams are collecting points throughout all of these tournaments. And whatever team gets the most points throughout all of the games is basically winning this prize money. And I mean, this prize money for teams is very, very juicy. And because of that, and because teams basically want to win points towards the club championship, it will most likely be the case that many new eSport orgs will get introduced into Trackmania, guys. Because, I mean, maybe we can see the results for 2025. Wait a second. Esports World Cup 2025. Yeah, you see the results. You see teams like Falcons, Liquid, Vitality, Twisted Minds, like all of these world's biggest orgs. And they all want a share of the club program. And Trackmania is, of course, a chance for them to earn more points. So most likely, basically, like almost all of these teams that you see over here, at least many of them, are going to get into Trackmania and are gonna offer contracts to players. And yeah, for Trackmania players, that is, of course, a giga huge opportunity. And I mean, that probably also has something to do with Carl Jr. leaving Solary. I guess he got a bigger contract, probably a way bigger contract from any of these international huge orgs. It might be Falcons, it might be something like Liquid, maybe Vitality would also fit well. I have no idea, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that many of the orgs are gonna get introduced into the game now. And I mean, they will, of course, message the world's most successful players. They will message people like Peck, like Gwen, like, I don't know, Afi, Otak, Bings. Like, all of these players are hopefully going to have a contract, guys. And they will be able to go full-time and do Trackmania grinding for a living. And this will, of course, also massively increase... Yeah, this will probably massively increase the level in Trackmania as well. If everyone is able to grind full-time, and if the grinding is also finally financially worth it, and people are not just doing it anymore for fun, I think, despite all of the controversies, which we can maybe talk about later, there is most likely gonna be a lot of grinding going on, and the level will be absolutely insane. So it might, also it has to be the best year of Trackmania esports that there ever was. If anything else would be extremely disappointing, to be honest. So yeah, that is, yeah, very wicked and very good for all Trackmania players and for Trackmania itself. I mean, Trackmania is like in a state where it never really dies. Like, Trackmania is always there. And we always knew Trackmania has, like, huge potential, content-wise, but also esports-wise. And, yeah, but for some reason, it was never anything done. Also due to mismanagement by Nadeo, you also have to clearly say that. But also just because, I don't know, Trackmania was just not really there. Like, people knew about it, but no one was really able or, like, willing to get into Trackmania. And this now, with the Esports World Cup, is basically the one thing everyone has been waiting for I don't even know how many years. But the memes that 2026 is going to be the year are apparently true. It's kind of crazy. The Falcon haters already pulling up. Good to see. Yeah, I can tell you guys, also, I can tell you this is gonna be very controversial as well. I mean, I as a player, who will obviously also play this, I am of course very biased there, but I'm very sure later today on Reddit or also on Twitter or in general in the Trackmania community, there will also be a lot of drama going on. So, yeah, that will be very interesting, guys. It has already started. Yeah, obviously it has already started. Obviously. I mean, also partly for reasons, but yeah, I'm just... Yeah, I'm just not saying anything. I mean, I'm very biased, so my opinion doesn't matter there either way. But, yeah, let's just say there will be plenty of different opinions on this, guys. So that will be very interesting to follow throughout the day. There's already a Reddit post. Yeah, we can check all of that out later as well. But maybe to come about what you guys asked. Because when we spoke about the orcs getting introduced into the game. I mean, as you guys know, Massa and me both already signed our contract with Big for 2026 and also for 2027. And we already did that, I don't know, in the middle of 2025. Before we basically knew about everything. And because of that, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much I want to talk about this, but because of that, our contract that we signed is also, let's just say it's designed in a way that, you know, 2026 is just going to be the same as 2025. As in, you know, Trackmania is just there and we're playing a little bit and blah, 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 you know. And I mean, in that regard, like if you take a look at the last 1 or 2 years, Trackmania eSport, like, was so in the mud that having any kind of contract was absolutely goated. And, yeah, because of that, it was also, like, out of the things we knew back then, it was an absolute no-brainer to have a new contract for the next 2 years. Now with the info being out of, yeah, of Trackmania EWC, Trackmania being at EWC, and having the info that most likely all of these teams are going to look for Trackmania players, we are in a rough situation, guys. I mean, obviously, it's still amazing for Massa and me as well. We can, yeah, we can still play this tournament, and we also have a salary, obviously. But I can tell you, also, it is the year of Trackmania, but it's gonna be less of a year of Trackmania for Massa and me than it is for others, most likely. I can tell you that much. So yeah, we are a little bit in the mud. Big basically has 2 very, very cheap goated players. Goated is maybe a bit too much, but 2 very cheap players. So yeah, we will have to see what's if there's anything gonna change there or whatever. But, yeah, let's just say with our current contract, I mean, the thing is, I'm not gonna leak anything, but I know also some numbers here and there from other players. And yeah, if those numbers are true, then we are, yeah, naja, a little bit in the mud. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, we'll see. We're definitely gonna talk with Big about a couple of things here and there. And we also already did, but we had to wait for the announcement, basically. So we will see, ladies and gentlemen. We will see. I mean, prize money is a different thing either way. You know, like if I win 500,000 prize money at the EWC, like instantly half of that would go to the fucking German government. Like the prize money is honestly the smaller part. It's more of a salary type of debate. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that I also don't want to necessarily talk about, because it's not like I want to throw Big under the bus. I mean, they also didn't, also I hope at least they didn't know about all of these things when our contracts were made. But Big was just the lucky guys here, and we were kind of the unlucky guys. But yeah, maybe we can talk a bit about this more in the future when I know some more exact things. But at the current state, as I can tell you, at the current state, if everything stays the way it is right now, and if the things I've heard from other players and other teams and certain numbers are true, then, yeah, we are kinda in the mud. I can tell you that much at least. But yeah, as I said, we will see if things are still gonna develop there. I hope so, because otherwise it will be difficult. But yeah, we will see. What else was there to talk about? There was one more thing that I wanted to talk about, guys, but I forgot what it was. I mean, we can check out the first Reddit reactions as well. That is very nice. Massa leaked he was contacted for 10k a month. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you the numbers that were partly in the room for some of the top players are very, very ridiculous. And also I can tell you also that if Massa and me were not contracted, and if this was also not, also, you know, if it wouldn't have been public that we already signed a contract for the next 2 years, we would have also probably gotten pretty good offers from certain teams that would have also been a lot better than... We would have basically gotten the same treatment as Carl Jr. Just with way less salary probably, but still like way more than we have right now. So yeah, we were basically in the same situation as Carl, you could say. Except that Carl was, for some reason, lucky enough, or smart enough, I don't know how you want to say that, to not having signed a new contract yet. But yeah, you will, we can maybe talk a little bit more about that in the future. But yeah, at the current state, we are gonna be pretty much in the mud. If nothing changes for us, then we are pretty fucked, to be honest, for the next 2 years. Not to say it like badly towards Big, but yeah. If nothing changes, we are deep in the mud. And that's also something we need to discuss with Big. I can tell you that much. There is gonna be the one or other talk. No way there is no buyout clause. Ja, also... Naja, very difficult to... Also maybe I can tell a bit more in the future, guys. For now, I'm just not gonna. But, yeah, naja. Let's just say we already discussed all of that, John C. And... there is some difficulties. The thing is, like, also to Big, right now, we are extremely valuable. Like, they literally have 2 players that can easily get to the top 32, and they have them low-key for free. Like, in comparison to what other players are gonna get. So for Big, it's like the absolute holy golden grail to be in this situation. So for Big, we are extremely important, and because of that, they of course also don't necessarily want to give us away. But that's of course also really shit, you know? Like, when you know that you are extremely important to an org, but then, for whatever reasons, like, I mean, it's also, you know, Big is not like a gigantic org. Like, it cannot keep up with something like Liquid or Falcons or Vitality or something. Like, they have definitely less money available. So they also just don't have the opportunities. But when you know that you are, like, extremely valuable to an org, but then, you know, like, it cannot be shown, but you also, on the other hand side, don't have the chance to look for any other possibilities. It's a pretty fucked situation, to be honest. It is pretty bad. And, I mean, I can tell you, I mean, I'm not gonna drop any numbers, but the differences, like, you know, like this entire thing, like, if the salary difference would be, like, let's say I get 2k per month, and then at another team I would get 3k a month or want something, I would probably never go away from Big. Like, I would just be like, yeah, okay, 1,000 euro, but, like, Big is, like, a super good org, and I'm happy there, and the people are goated. Like, that would not be the talks. The issue, rather, is that the differences, if the things that we know about other players and other orgs are true, let's just say they are a little bit bigger than that. I mean, you heard it from Massa, that Massa got an offer for 10k that he could have basically signed immediately if he wasn't in a contract. And if a Massa, who is, I mean, Massa is a really good player, but Massa is definitely not a player like Carl Jr. Yeah, and I mean, it was also tweeted by Solareed that Carl Jr. got an offer which Solareed just couldn't keep up with. You can maybe sort of kinda imagine what a Carl Jr. could be offered a month. For him to easily leave Solareed, as easily, no, you know what I mean? And yeah, if we talk about those differences, then mudded. Naja, I hope we can figure something out there, but because, yeah, otherwise for us, it's also a pretty fucked situation. Like, imagine you do the work, imagine you're, like, I mean, many of you are probably normally working in a company. And imagine you do the same work as some others, you are, like, equally good, maybe slightly worse, but, like, you know, you have, like, equal qualities, equal chances, blah, blah, blah. But then your coworker just earns 10 times the amount or something. It is pretty depressing. So, yeah, we will see what we can figure out there. But, yeah. 30 to 50k is for the CS players. No way they paid it for a Trackmania player. Yeah, surely. Surely not. Yeah. I mean, maybe Carl Jr. will at some point drop it, what he's offered. But I'm not gonna say anything. If I speak. Naja, anyway, enough about that depressive yapping here. A month, I mean, yeah, I know. I know, don't worry. But yeah, enough about that depressive yapping. We want to check out some reactions, guys. I want to see what people think about this announcement. Because on the one side, of course, it is the year for Trackmania. It is huge for Trackmania eSport. It is absolutely insane. But on the other hand side, with the tournament being hosted in Saudi Arabia and by the Saudis and stuff, let's just say the Esportsworldcup is kinda controversial as well. So I wanna see the first Reddit reactions, guys. What do people on Reddit, who often have interesting opinions to say the least, are gonna think about it, guys. We are opening Reddit. Honestly, ever since I heard about the Esports World Cup featuring Trackmania, the one thing I had in my mind was that I want to see what Reddit thinks about it. And now, after like multiple... When was actually the first time I heard about this? I think the first time I heard about Esports World Cup being, or like featuring Trackmania, but it was also not known to us if it's like actually set in stone until a couple of days ago, pretty much. But the first time I heard about it was already before the Trackmania World Cup last year. So since like October or something, I heard about this. So yeah. Let's just check it out. Excited and scared at the same time. We only have one single Reddit post so far, I think. Yeah, the rest is all... I mean, the news is still relatively fresh. But let's see, guys. What does Reddit think about the fact that Trackmania will be at the EWC 2026, guys? We are going in, I'm extremely scared. Isn't EWC the cup GeoGuessr wanted to be part of too, but their community actually has those disgusting things called morals and integrity, and protested so hard GeoGuessr pulled out within 24 hours? Yes. Yeah, those are exactly the replies that I was expecting. I mean, like, the thing is, like, I'm also on a difficult page, guys. I'm extremely, every single player is extremely biased. Like, everyone who is gonna play this and who's gonna have a chance at revolutionizing their life, like, if there is not gonna be a single good Trackmania player that is not gonna play this because of, like, morals or whatever. And you guys can love that, or you guys can hate that, or whatever. But I'm pretty sure everyone can understand that. And the difference between Trackmania and GeoGuessr, honestly, is that GeoGuessr is, like, way bigger of a community. There's, like they have, like, way more other chances. Like, don't they have, like, also GeoGuessr World Cup and something? Like, how big is the GeoGuessr World Cup, guys? How much prize money do they have? Do they have, like, actual pro players for GeoGuessr? Or how is that working? But I know they probably have a bigger esports scene than Trackmania, I'm pretty sure. And for the GeoGuessr players, they maybe have a lot of other, like, big tournaments to play, and they can play professionally either way and stuff. 100k prize pool, yeah. What did Trackmania World Cup have? 15? So, yeah, Trackmania is in a... honestly, I would say, if there is a game that needs something like EWC, it is probably Trackmania. Like, you can have, like, Fortnite. Like, Fortnite, for example, is also at EWC. They have other tournaments with millions of prize pool. But, like, what this tournament will... Like, this tournament will have as much prize pool as the last 10 years of Trackmania eSport combined. Like, actually. Like, if you combine everything, I think that reaches back, like, 10 years in the past. So, for Trackmania, this is, like, a huge step into the correct direction, as in Trackmania needs to grow a little bit. So, I think Trackmania is definitely a game that, yeah, that needs this. More than pretty much every other game that is in the EWC, probably. But, yeah, that's true what he said, though. Realistically, this is good for the game, but there is many people who don't support EWC since it's backed by Saudi government. Yeah, there will definitely be some people that will also... I mean, we already see it here. There's definitely people that are not happy about it. Isn't 500k, like, more than every other competition in Trackmania ever combined? I mean, I don't know how much the Trackmania Grand League seasons and stuff all sum up to, but, I mean, yes, almost, pretty much. So that's kind of crazy. A 500k prize pool is life-changing money for multiple years. I can't see people turning that down. Don't hate the players, hate the game. Yeah, whoever hates any players for participating in this, then you are, in my opinion, pretty stupid. You can dislike the competition in general, or also the whatever, like the complete EWC or whatever, but I don't think you can care about, or, like, you can be mad at any Trackmania player who, like, takes the chance, you know? Like, that would be very, very dumb, to be honest. And Massa guy, thank you very much for the raid. Massa, you could have... Did you know when the announcement came out? Did you on purpose want me to be late for the announcement? That's crazy, to be honest. Now I was half an hour late because I was eating lunch. Really mad. No. Yeah. Massa gatekeeping the information. That's crazy. But yeah. Anyway, so what were we at? Yeah, so as I said, for Trackmania players, this is a huge opportunity. And the thing is, like, what you guys say, or like what you guys see is the 500k prize pool, which is of course insane. Like, if you win, I mean, I don't know what the first place will win. What will Carl Jr. win? Like 250k maybe? That's obviously insane. But what you guys ignore, and what honestly will be the bigger part for, I think, pretty much every single player, is gonna be the contract that they will be offered. Because first of all, the contract is like a stable income for the Trackmania players, which is something Trackmania players haven't had in forever, basically. So it's a stable income, and the contracts, because of this entire club championship going on, which I explained earlier, the contracts are gonna be really crazy. I mean, you guys said it, or like Massa said it himself, he got offered 10k a month. That is 120 a year, and let's say it's 2 years, it would be 240k within 2 years, just as normal salary, just for existing. And then you could still win prize money at the actual cup, of course. So it's not only the prize pool, which is insane, which you can win, it's also like a very, very, very goated stable income that you have as a Trackmania player. That's like the way bigger and way more important part. And as I said, I mean, Carl Jr. maybe if you want to drop any numbers. No, but like, you know, like if Massa like gets offered 10k, then the other pros also probably got. I mean, Carl the GOAT probably got offered some juicy amount as well. And it's also the same for smaller players. Like, let's say, I don't know, someone like Letster. Letster, a new talent in the game who's especially good at like these normal kind of Trackmania maps. Like also him. Also he has a good chance at getting a contract where he gets a salary that he can play full-time with. And for someone like Letster, who hasn't really played any big competitions at all yet, it's like a gigantic chance for basically everyone who wants to step up into the game as a pro player. It's like absolutely insane, to be honest. It's actually crazy. So yeah, for the Trackmania players, it is absolutely the year of all years. Like for real, for real. So yeah. How much money did I get offered then? I didn't get, also I can say the offer that Massa got was also sent to me. But the thing is, like, I mean, I spoke about it earlier. We are already signed with Big, and it was also publicly known that we were signed for the next 2 years. So we didn't really get a lot of offers because it was basically, yeah, mudded either way. But yeah, also if we would have been open on the market, I'm pretty sure we could have gotten at least 10k a month as well as an offer. Maybe a bit more, like obviously not a lot more, but around that region would have been realistic to get by some team, I would say. Also because our the results from Massa and me from the last 2 years, it's not like we won something super big, but we were always like in the top 4, and that would have also been worth a lot to the EWC teams. So yeah, around that you can think, and then there is players that are better than us. I mean, you obviously have Carl, but also like Amada, for example, probably will find a new team. He's not gonna play for Jetlag this year, I can tell you that much. And he's probably gonna earn quite some juicy money as well, just for playing. So yeah, anyway, let's read what people are saying. Esport is at a point where it struggles without Saudi money. I mean, that's also kind of true. Like, if you like it or not, that's also something... Like, if you like it or not, in general sports, not only esports, but also real sports, you just kind of need, like, you need money, obviously, to run a business. And that, the most money often comes from things that are, like, morally bad. I mean, you have it, like, everywhere. I don't know, you have in Formula 1, you have the Kick Sauber team. At football, you have, like, Gamba advertisements for Tipico and all of that kind of stuff. But it's exactly these kind of things that are just bringing in the most money, and that organizers of tournaments just need to have. Otherwise, it doesn't work like that, you know? Still a bit different, yeah, but I mean, that's what Kick Sauber is out, yeah, but you know the example, guys. You know the example. So, in theory, you have this kind of bad things in basically every single sport ever. And, yeah, it's kind of sad, of course, that it doesn't work without that. But, I mean, you can decide for yourself. Either it wouldn't work at all, or it works like that, basically. So, yeah, naja. I think you know what I am trying to say. That's mainly because orgs owners spend money irresponsibly, and then when Saudi money comes to bail them out, they have no other option than to take it. Or they are publicly owned, and free money is free money. Okay, I'm confused. Trackmania isn't struggling because there is no Saudi money. Trackmania is struggling because they incredibly incapable to a degree. A random viewer of a streamer was able to back a higher priced event. Wait, is he talking about the big Trackmania Cup? Wait, a random viewer, aka El Diablo, of a streamer, aka Granadi, was able to pack a higher priced event in Trackmania than the game company themselves, including getting sponsors on board, and is now working on getting more sponsors. I mean, that's what we're doing, that's true. Trackmania doesn't have a money or sponsor problem. They are just insanely inept. Yeah, but exactly because of that, they have they have exactly a money and sponsor problem. Like, I don't know what the reason for that is, if Nadeo is just not capable of finding sponsors because they just cannot sell themselves or whatever, but I mean, Trackmania has exactly, or maybe also the Magi things. I mean, it doesn't really matter what he means, but Trackmania does have a sponsor problem. Like, they didn't have anyone that offered them a shit ton of money to host something. That was just the issue. I'm pretty sure Nadeo was looking for that all the time, and I mean, it was definitely also Nadeo's fault. I also know a few things from the past, like, years, where Nadeo's communication was probably the main reason that things didn't work out. And so Nadeo was at a big fault there as well. Let's not down-talk that. Nadeo has been very, very yak partly in the last 2 years. But now they got an offer, and apparently, thank God, Nadeo managed to not fuck it up. That is absolutely amazing. Like, ever since I heard from the EWC the first time, I was so scared that Nadeo is somehow gonna find a way to just fuck it up. But luckily they didn't. And yeah, part of the reasons were also what Auris is saying. Hylas, back in the day, also Hylas, the CEO of Nadeo, back in the day said that he doesn't want the Trackmania to be big. Like, he wanted, like, for a very long time, Hylas treated Trackmania as a small little baby, as if it was his daughter who should not be allowed to explore the world outside type of shit. And I mean, that obviously doesn't really help on making the game bigger if the CEO of the entire company, yeah, doesn't want to make the game bigger. So, yeah, naja. Many way bigger games also only have an esports scene because of Saudi investment. Look at Overwatch. I agree, Nadeo is awful at pretending to care about competitive Trackmania, but it's sadly unavoidable to have to get Saudi money for the scene to stay afloat. Yeah, kinda true. I can also tell you, like, already at the Trackmania World Cup, there were people from Nadeo there. And people from Nadeo also teased us already. Also, I had, for example, a talk with Adrienne from Nadeo. Also, she didn't say anything. But, you know, like, she was there and she was representing Nadeo. And for some reason, Massa and me felt like Nadeo suddenly cared. Like, that there were Nadeo people and they were, like, open and, like, hopeful and stuff. Like, Nadeo cared for some reason. So, I think at least I have the hopium that the times where it feels like Nadeo doesn't care about their Trackmania esport, I hope they are over. But it really felt like it at the World Cup, at least. And also now it seems like Nadeo is actually cooking something. And, I mean, there is probably also more to announce than this. I mean, this is only the Esports World Cup. There's nothing announced about, I don't know, Trackmania World Tour this year or whatever. About the, I mean, even though it's the Esports World Cup, it's not going to be the official World Cup of Trackmania. So this is only one part of the esport of this year. Like, maybe now with the funding that they get from the Saudi things, they will also get... Yeah, they will also get more chances and they will lock in a little bit more for the official Trackmania World Tour or something. We will see. I'm pretty sure there is more to announce. And Bergie, you better have your sunscreen ready, Ghana. Yeah, I will, Bergie. I will. I mean, I can tell you, I will, also for those of you that didn't understand this, I will obviously play the Esports World Cup as well. And I will try my utter best and I will definitely also lock in more than I have locked in for other tournaments last year, like the World Cup. So, yeah, at the important times where it's about qualifying, I can also tell you that, yeah, I can tell you that the streams and the video output will definitely also reduce significantly in those times, because, yeah, we just have to lock in for these kind of things. Like, there is no excuse anymore, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, we've already seen this. Really good for Trackmania, really bad for the Worlds. Yeah, also really good for Trackmania, yeah. I don't know if it makes the world a worse place now. If you think so, then yeah. And this has been known for a while. No, it hasn't. Unfortunately, the insane prize pool will get people to put their morals aside and compete, since Nadeo's refusal to actually develop their esports scene has resulted in a situation where fucking Kim Jong-un could offer 500k and create a tournament where players either compete for life-changing money for the first time in Trackmania esports or be morally correct. Congrats, Nadeo. People are so dramatic. Yes. Yes, exactly. Very, very interesting, yeah. Also, wait, what did you guys say in the chat? Only 8 spots are available via qualifiers. Wait, so 8... Wait, was it only... Did they say that in the announcement text? That only 8 out of 32 spots are available via qualifiers? Wait, so there is 24 that are just, like, open or what? That are, like, invited then or something? Or how is it gonna work? Softy said in Massa's chat that it will be announced later, but not invites. There's 8 spots via an open qualifier, and 24 spots are given somewhere else, but they are not invites. What else would it be then? By the way it sounds, it is gonna be solo, guys. So we're not playing duo, I'm not playing together with Massa, everyone is on their own. I will know more on the 26th. Okay. Yeah, I mean, why is it the 26th though? Like, wasn't the update supposed to come out on the 27th of January? Why did the update and everything suddenly move to the 26th? Ah, 26th is the announcement and 27th is the update. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, but Bergie is, by the way, also involved at all of the eSport things there, so he knows. It will be a very fair system for the qualifications. Okay, I mean, we'll see about that. I hope so. I hope it will be fair to some degree. But yeah, we'll see. We're gonna find out more in exactly 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely next Monday, I can assure you that you will have to watch the stream, guys. Very important. And yeah, like this discussion going on here. Let the sports washers cook. I wonder who gave the big prize pool. I saw it's in Riyadh and everything made sense. Yeah, I mean, was to be expected. I mean, money always has to come from somewhere. It's not like, let's say, Monster Energy is gonna come into Trackmania and is suddenly gonna throw in $500,000 or something for a Trackmania tournament. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's just not how it works. I mean, you saw it with Red Bull. Red Bull is a huge company. They put up a huge tournament and the prize pool was only 50k. Like, this is 10 times as big as a Red Bull Faster, prize money-wise. And you have this entire aspect with orgs signing players. So it's basically, I don't know, like, it's infinitely bigger than a Red Bull Faster, which was basically the biggest tournament of last year. Like, the scale of this is, maybe for some of you guys, because you don't really understand the contract situation, is, like, very hard to comprehend. But for the players, it is insane, guys. It is actually insane. Energizing win for any team playing against Falcons. You really hope to see any time playing against Falcons have strong showings, especially against opposition like this. Do people hate Falcons so much? I mean, Falcons is one of the Saudi orgs, right? Yes. Great. And I'll definitely... I mean, let's just say the chance that Falcons is gonna get into the game, also into Trackmania, like, they are probably... Also, I could at least imagine it's like the type of org that just wants players in, like, every single game, probably. That is being shown so that they win. I mean, we saw it in... we saw it here. Last year, Falcons won the club championship, guys. So, yeah. And I mean, you win the club championship by scoring good points across every single title. So, the chance that they get one of the top-tier Trackmania players is, yeah, extremely high. And I mean, how many options are there? Like, yeah, Carl, obviously. Maybe Pack, maybe a Mother or something. But one of them is probably gonna jump in. And whoever that is probably, yeah, going out of this quite a bit richer. But I mean, whoever it is, honestly deserved. So we saw this. Grana will ready this. Please smile. Keep your morals high. Trackmania is a big safe space for LGBTQ plus community as well. This location is not. Fight for human rights. Yeah, I mean, that's of course also a debatable thing. I know in Trackmania, I mean, I'm not like super into that. Also, I'm not like following that, but I know there's like quite a big LGBTQ community in Trackmania as well. And also like a lot of people. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be super happy with this, but yeah, as I said, like, just because, like, let's say all of the... Why did I downvote? Let's just say all of the... Like, just because all of the pro players are gonna take this opportunity because it's, like, ultra life-changing. Yeah. Grana downvoted it. Cancel him in chat. Dude, if someone makes a screenshot of how I accidentally downvoted this, I'm gonna snap, bro. I'm gonna snap. But it's a different thing. Also, I obviously understand it, and there's, like, a lot of debates about... Not only about that, but also, like, other moral debates that you can do there. But, I mean, as someone said earlier, don't hate the players, hate the game. It is what it is. But any player, I can tell you, also, any player will take this opportunity. There is not going to be a single good Trackmania player who will not play this. Because it's just, like, too big of an opportunity. And you can see it how you want, as, like, you know, in a way that, yeah, the Trackmania players finally deserve that for all of the grinding they did and blah, blah, blah. Or you can say that Trackmania players are all doing it for the money and they are selling out. Yeah, honestly, I just, also, yeah, whatever people say. Think what you wanna think. I wonder how much of a commitment this will be. Semi-fine, my friend. This will be the biggest commitment you have ever seen. I can tell you that much. People will grind like crazy. I kind of have mixed feelings. On one hand, I'm glad Trackmania finally gets a higher stake esport event of this size. I'm especially happy for all the pro players who will get more money playing this game. I only wish we could have had all of that without participating in the sports washing of the Saudi government that is the ESWC. Now, that is a fair opinion, I would say. Instead of supporting blood money tournaments, I hope people tune into the Trackmania games starting this weekend. I'm pretty sure people are gonna do both. This has nothing to do with each other. Big community event with a lot of nations and some crazy competition. I mean, yes, but like, you know, these community tournaments. Like, Trackmania games is obviously insanely cool. I'm playing for it as well. I'm so looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But, if you have the dream as a player to play Trackmania professionally, to do it as a full-time job, which is, I think, many of you can imagine, a dream of good players, then these kind of tournaments are just not enough. It is what it is. Like, I cannot live from a Trackmania Games solo championship victory kind of thing. Like, it is what it is. The fun stops when money's on the line. I mean, it sounds sad, but it's just true. And it's true for every single player, kind of. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as I said, as a player myself, I am quite biased there, and so is every single other player. I understand that this is the tournament that sparks huge controversy, but ultimately this is going to grow the game and potentially allow more support from Nadeo to the game. And yes, it's supporting a tournament that is funded by terrible people, but ultimately without Trackmania nothing will change, so I can only see this as a huge positive. Yeah, I mean, it's the same discussion like through basically every single Reddit comment here, and yeah, I mean that's obviously like the moment this was announced, you exactly knew that exactly these kind of discussions are coming up, and it's probably a thing in basically every single other game that gets introduced into this as well. I mean, with other, you know, like with other games, like let's say a Counter-Strike community will not give an absolute fuck, where basically every single tournament is sponsored by crypto casinos and it's just like the most normal thing ever. So there's like, you know, like the bigger esports are all, yeah, all very, very, all very, very normalized to this kind of things. But yeah, every single game that is like first time confronted with these kind of things, it's a different thing. It is talked about in the CS community too. Yeah, probably, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. But like Counter-Strike would never pull something like the GeoGuessr community did, you know? Or at least if they would, it would be, yeah, exactly, like the Counter-Strike community is fucking unhinged. That's kind of true. As I said, like basically, like good luck finding a Counter-Strike tournament, for example, that is not sponsored by something that can be considered not moral or something. So, sports washing is unfortunately the only reality for esports nowadays. It's either crypto gambling sponsors or sports washing money, usually both. You cannot realistically do esports without it, and that's the case even with the biggest esport titles. Do with that information what you want. Yeah, pretty much true, to be honest. Like, there is no big esports that don't have that, I think. Yeah, I mean, with other games, you also have, like, let's say with League of Legends. League of Legends is belonging to Tencent. Also, yeah, also not like the best company in the world necessarily. So you won't find a main esport title where this is not the case, and you always have these discussions, but in the ending, just because a few people on, a few, like it's actually many people that also complain about it, but yeah, in the ending, it honestly won't really change anything. It's just the way to go, kinda. As sad as it is, obviously everyone would wish that it would just be like all nice and all inclusive and all welcome to everyone, but yeah, naja, it is what it is. I miss when esports was just a small thing that you could watch on the side, or whenever it's not, or whenever it's on. Not every game had to be Dota or League of Legends or Counter-Strike. But in the modern day, it has been ruined with Saudi money and people needing this to be a career or their life is in the bin. Also, organizers are just sad. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, okay, once again, I'm very biased as a player, but I mean, the fact that people want this to be their career, I don't think you can be mad at that. Like, you cannot be mad of someone who wants to make a job out of their hobby. Like, no matter what it is. Like, if it's esport or if it is something, but yeah. I mean, you can, of course, talk about, like, tournament organizing and if that's necessary, but, I mean, we saw it with Trackmania. Like, Trackmania basically never had a tournament which was sponsored by something that was, like, controversial, to be honest. Well, I mean, you see where it led to, sadly. It is what it is. But yeah, the other comments are also the same. But yeah, those are the first reactions to Trackmania being at the EWC, guys. It is exactly what I imagined. I was, yeah, it was exactly what everyone probably thought we are gonna see. But yeah, guys, that is it. That is everything there is to know now. New news are gonna drop on the 26th of January. So in exactly 1 week, we will know more about, yeah, basically everything. We will know more about the format, on how to qualify, on the exact dates, maybe. It's gonna be juicy, so I hope you guys are gonna tune in for that. But for now, that is everything that we know. And yeah, for the people watching this on YouTube, definitely let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Are you hyped for the tournament? Are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna boycott it? Let me know whatever you think. And yeah, I hope you will tune in next week for the new info. Bye bye!